Hello, what I'd like to do is take you through our Floral Display Box CD-Rom, which works as a resource CD for the wonderful picket fence dies and other dies as well, that you can use to embellish and make these absolutely amazing cards. Now we're going to work with the template, which was our original template, which is the popping display box one, but we're only going to use the back panel, and that's then used to create this. So if you've got that already, you can work with it, and you can do a combination of the two as well, either making just the picket fence or working with the original one, as I said. But what we will have, if you look on the gallery on the website, is some examples to show you of the cards, and that will probably make a little bit more sense of it. But for the moment, what I'd like to do is just run you through the CD-ROM and all the wonderful goodies that you're going to find on it. Now it works on Adobe Reader, and it runs on both your Apple Mac and your PC as well. So what we're going to do is pop the CD in, the main page will come up, then click onto here to get you to the main navigation. And I'll start off with our Floral Display Box panels, and you have 36 of those that you can use, and they are themed really with gardening. That's what we're looking at predominantly here as our theme for the backdrop. So if I say click onto one here, we can see we've got different panels, and we click on, and they will actually create and form the backdrop for you. Or indeed you can use them for your regular crafting as well. I mean, there's some lovely images on here. So again, they're designed to work within the box, so most of the main area is sort of 40 millimeters up from the baseline, so where this hand is sort of moving, if you can see that, so that the mechanism is really going to be at the back and covering it. That's the parts which we'll use the supports to build up our card with. So a lovely range of papers, all sorts of occasions, definitely a garden theme running through this for you, but we've also got other papers as well that you can use for other occasions, because it is, if I click onto here, we can see gardening, fantastic, but we've got winter scenes as well, because you can make some fantastic Christmas cards, and I popped a few other bits and pieces on there as well. We've got our lovely cottages and mountain scenes. It all works together to give you some really, honestly, truly stunning cards. We're using the picket fence die, and that will actually go round the edge of the card and create what was originally the box section, the front of the box, on our display box card template. We've really just swapped it out for the picket fence, and we've got backgrounds here if you like the wood, and you can build up onto it the textures, night and day. We've got trellis there as well, and different coloured papers and textures to use. On this one here, again, gardening, very strong theme, but we've got Best Mum, Happy Mother's Day, Best Dad, some greenhouses. We've also popped in a little bit of Halloween here, and Fairy Princess Castle, and a knight with his castle as well, just to give you a taste of some of the things that you can do with it as well, because it goes beyond just our gardening theme as well. But those are the main papers that really give the sort of zing to the cards at the backdrop. They set the theme and the tone for it. So lots of lovely papers there to get you up and running, and of course you can always add your own as well, or indeed add to those. So that's the main part of the section there. Now this is backed up with our floral themed papers. Again, we've got 40 of these, and they come in both the full colour and the tint as well. And these are very much based around our floral themes here. They're scaled down somewhat so that they'll work better within the context of the box that we've got. Now I've spoken here about our floral display box, but we've also got the Z cards as well. And those are basically two halves of the back of the box and then a fold in there, and it creates a kind of Z shape if you look from underneath, and the picket fence runs along it. Again, examples can be seen on the website, on the gallery. But these backing papers work well as panels because you've got a larger area to fill. That's to say you know, or you can combine them with the original ones that we've got as well. So you've got two sets of paper here in full colour, and each one's accompanied by reciprocating paper that's in a tint as well for you. So a fantastic resource, and again you can use these in all of your crafting. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to just use it for these cards. It's a wonderful resource CD that's got use way beyond what we're doing here as well. Okay, so we're looking at the picket fence, and we've got a number of resources here to help you pre-printed. You can just cut these out, and these make the fence panels that the picket fence supports, rather, that the panels will stick to. So just click on, you can choose a colour, recommending printing 160 GSM because you're going to fold these. And then we've got score lines, and it shows you where you can actually cut them as well, just to help with the folding. Again, all the instructions are included, and you have a little look at that. It'll make it quite clear. Now I must say at this stage these cards are really, really simple to make. They look fantastic. It's some good old-fashioned crafting in there, and that comes with our actual picket fence itself, because we're going to use the die to cut out the fence panels, and we've got a range of different ones here. Again, recommending 250 GSM card for these. And oh sorry, overclick. Let me just come back again and show you, because we need I believe it's 12 panels for our display box card, and the Z card, I believe off the top of my head, is either 14 or 16. So we've got 2 here, and each of the patterns are different. So as you make the panels, there's a kind of theme running through them all. If, and I stress it, only if you can be bothered to keep them all in line. It doesn't matter if you don't, but it's there for you as another little sort of design feature. And there'll sort of be a commonality in a thread between each of them as you pop them down. Now coming back to that, the picket fence layout here shows you how we use this as a guide. The glue lines here are for you to actually stick behind the panel, and that attaches this section to the front of the card. But it's also useful to put your supports here, the panels that hold these, on there as well. Again, all covered in the instructions for you. And then we're simply going to use this as a guide to stick down our picket fence panels on top of it. It's really simple to do, and I don't know if it's just me, but I find it really enjoyable as well. It's quite satisfying. Only takes a minute or two, and you've got a lovely picket fence right before your very eyes, and it really, really does offset the cards beautifully. Again, full instructions are included here, and there will be a video tutorial. Now you'll notice these 2 panels here, and these again, the instructions show you how you can use the original template to create these, but I've created these. It's all done for you. These fit within the width of a panel and hide themselves nicely, and they can be cut and shaped, and your images put on top of them. I find either a single or a double panel works best. You really can't squeeze too much more in than that. But there's nothing to stop you decorating the very back panel as well if you want to. So that's your guide for our layout for the picket fence for our floral display box card, and this is for the Z card. So we can see here that we build another picket fence, and this actually sticks on top of the card, so there's no gluing at the sides, no tabs to glue, but you actually glue part of the panels as they go down. Okay, again, all on the instructions for you. And again, very, very simple to make, but looks absolutely fantastic. Now, we've spoken about the picket fence dies. We have a couple of other fantastic dies that go with all of this, and those are our fancy floral cut dies. And these are pre-coloured papers for you to use if you want to. I've just put a range together, but you can use your regular papers, really anything that you like to create with it. But these are done for you. There's a guideline here to show you where the die will go down, and everything will match up beautifully for you, and you'll be able to cut out a whole range of lovely coloured dies there. And we've also got a new set here for you, which is these garden implements. Again, the die cuts here, and it cuts the grass with all the little spiky bits on for you. We've got a different range here of the watering cans and the flowers, and these are all scaled to fit the card beautifully. It's a lovely little die that works so well with it. Last but not least, on that section, we've got the ladybirds and bees here. Great embellishments for your cards. And of course you can use your coloured card, but these are just pre-done for you as a colour guide to work with if you so choose. For the wings here, I've actually sort of tried to give a rough estimation of what the wings would look like, a sort of translucent look. But if you've got a little bit of acetate, you can actually cut that with the die as well, or cut it by hand, and that really looks really lovely stuck underneath the wings as well. But that's all on there for you. They're pre-done and they match beautifully with all the elements that we've got. Talking of embellishments, we also have here a lovely sheet of just general embellishments for you to work with. Again, sized for the card, so smaller ones towards the front, bigger ones towards the back. Some additional grass. I sometimes use this to put on the panel, because on this card, remember, we're going to be able to see through the picket fence. So a couple of things to note. Obviously, you want to make that look nice because you're looking through, although you can decorate the front of the fence as well. And also that in this particular instance, the popping mechanism really isn't going to be suitable. That's not to stop you using it if you want to, but I just think it would show up, and there was you can conceal it, and if you have the time you can do so, but in truth the cards look so lovely, and they'll have a bit of spring in them anyway, but that is up to you. Additional flowers, a couple of trees, one already decorated. These we can use the dies and actually add little elements onto them. I've left these two plain. You can either use them plain or embellish them if you want to. There's an outline around them, so you can just cut roughly to size and it still looks lovely. It saves you having to be really intricate with the cut. I've got to say that's where the dies, especially with the flowers here, win out so nicely. Okay, so really that brings us to the end of this little sort of walk-through tour. Quite quick, but I just wanted to show you what's on there. It's a fantastic resource CD. Obviously, it's themed towards our floral display box, but it has a life of its own, as it were, in your everyday card making as well. I particularly like this one. I think it works so well. I said I focused on gardening, and it's something which is it's very, very popular, young and old alike. I'm actually having looked at this, quite staggered at how many young people are enjoying gardening as well, which is a fantastic thing. So it's one of those wonderful cards for all occasions, and of course we can put our flowers in and all those lovely embellishments that we like to use so much in our crafting. But as I've said, we can see again, if you look on the gallery, I've got some fantastic Christmas cards and cards for other occasions as well. Think of this as a starting point, a fantastic and lovely starting point for this particular project, and I'm sure as you start working with it you'll think of lots of other lovely things that you can do as well. Anyway, I hope this gives you a good insight into what you'll find on the CD. So visit the website for a sort of a much better understanding of what the cards look like as well, and enjoy your crafting. I hope you have fun with it. Take care. Bye bye.